Welcome to Disaster Debrief. I'm Pigeon, and today we're looking at Hearts of Iron 4 saves that you have sent to me. And here's how this is going to work. We'll start by picking a save, go through it, and try to figure out what went wrong. Feel free to chat or leave a comment. You're absolutely welcome to backseat, however, be polite and remember that we're all here to learn.
Oh dear. Oh no. Okay, let's read the description first. So, I was playing as Yugoslavia. I recently bought the DLC and I tried surviving against Italy, and well, I kind of failed. So now I'm behind the defensive line, hoping not to get pushed by Italy. What I forgot to mention is that Romania is guaranteeing me and went communist, as it looked kind of cool. Well, that is all I have to say. Yeah, there is some trouble here. So we've got a SFR Yugoslavia. I'm in danger. Okay, so who is pushing? The Soviets are pushing for you. Okay, so let's take a look at the world. We've got the Fourth International. So we got the Bulgarian Civil War. Axis, but the axis is Hungary and Germany. You think Japan is going north, are they? Okay, so it's historical, but not historical. Oh, this is a very confusing save. So it is historical, but it's not historical. Yeah, I'm confused by the state of the world, but let's just ignore that. Let's assume that just happened. The first thing I can see here is you got a overstacking of your general. So I would strongly recommend not doing that. So when you had their overstack 16% penalty, so you're like all the bonuses that you would get from this general get negated by 16. So you've got other generals, right? So why not use them? Yeah. So just do something like that instead. Don't overstack if you can avoid it. Sometimes for garrisons, it doesn't really matter too much because like they're just sitting there on the tile, but normally just don't overstack. It's not worth it. So let's take a look at terrain resistance. I want to see diplomatic. Yeah, so you're just at war with Italy and you are in a defensive war. So they've attacked you. Bomber interception. It's good to get these guys for the XP. Focus tree, which way you went? So you went abolish the monarchy, form the council. Yeah, I think you can go this way to remove the opposition. This is one of the ways that you avoid the civil war in Yugoslavia. A really good thing if you ever play Yugoslavia is this focus here. This is probably the most overpowered fighter focus of any focus tree, is you get a 2 years ahead of time, a 300% research bonus. If you time it correctly, you can get the fighter 3 like in 1941. So that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why they don't let people play Yugoslavia in multiplayer, is because whatever side they go to, that person gets that fighter. And then with the research, they can even research their bonuses, and effectively it gives them the air war. So it's why it's not like in competitive games. I mean, you might be able to do it in RP games and stuff, but yeah. Okay, so you got the stability expert. You're good for that. Construction, not much to say because you've lost a lot of your territory. Production, again, you've probably lost a few of your factories, and you are upgrading something. You do have a surplus. Good. Just a slight deficit on these, but you're lacking. Yeah, I would probably put that one up a little bit. I don't know. What are you using the Great War Tank for? That's a good question. But this tanked battalion. Do you have any of these in the field? Yeah. So I'm just gonna say this is worthless. This here is effectively a waste of 2 factories because you're the very low stats. You have low armor and low hardness, and I mean, okay organization, but terrible HP. This division just is not going to be able to push anything, and it doesn't defend anything. Frankly, I would just not bother. And that's 2 extra factories that you could have somewhere else. You do want to fix that deficit, so looks like you're trading already. Maybe we'll go down to this one. All right, so that would fix your trade. Just get that, and then you don't have to worry about your penalties. That's a lot better. You are in a state where they are pushing you very hard. Yeah, let's take a look at, did you build forts? So you haven't built any forts. It would have been worth maybe earlier on building some forts like here, like these 3 lines here. If you were just fighting Italy, building some there, and then, yeah, focusing on taking out Albania and this in Zara. Because what you can do is, another thing about Zara is really good is it's a port tile, but it technically is counted as like encircled when you attack. So I can't show you because obviously there isn't any units on here. But what you can do is you can get the encirclement penalty, and you can repeatedly click this tile here over and over again. It is a cheesy exploit, I think, or some YouTuber actually does this anytime they play Yugoslavia. Keep attacking this, and then just don't walk into the tile. You get really good casualties. All right, you're doing kind of good for your divisions. Sort of the default. I don't know if you added an artillery to this, but yeah, they're not super great. But again, you don't have the most equipment. Mountaineers aren't really worth anything. This is just don't build these tank battalions. They're not worth it. So I would just straight up convert this. I think the big issue here is you might want to this person might want to hook up their railroad road. That might be worth more than a fort line, because I don't think you're going to get that tile back. This mountain tile. So no air, no anti-air. Kind of a problem, because when you click here, it looks like Romania maybe might be helping you out. Yeah, so you have 71 fighters up, and Romania has 62, and they're not particularly good. Currently being bombed by Italy. So another thing is, if you're on 2 missions, it's better to pick one over the other, because if you're just doing interception, you'll intercept more. Like, it would be nice to have air, but if you have the interwar fighters, they're not really going to be worth building at this point. Do you have anti-air researched? You do, just the first tech. And another thing is, if you're going to do artillery or like a land unit, you want to keep researching them and even getting some in the line. So let's look at this template here. It's fairly, well, like I said, that it has terrible stats. And part of the reason for it is it's only got 100 soft attack. So without any artillery at all, it's got 89. We're going to add support artillery, which puts 12 artillery units, which they cost around 4 to produce, depending on the level. It might be a little bit higher, but that's only 48 IC, right? So for 48 IC, you get effectively 15 soft attack. And then you can add another one here to the line and get another 30, right? So you want to add a little bit more soft attack to these and get them up. And then obviously once you research them, this number gets higher. And depending on what doctrines you go down, there's also soft attack bonuses. Superior firepower is a really good one if you build artillery. So you get 10% here. That's recovery rate, but you get another 10% there if you go that side. Or integrated support gives you extra soft attack for your support companies. And then filling out your support companies is very important if you go the right side on this one. So I would make a couple units like with this. So how much? You have an extra artillery. So you could duplicate the template and make a 20, maybe bring it down a little bit. Yeah, so this is just a standard 7.2. This will give you a lot more soft attack for the cost. So we're going to do this. And then you're not producing any. Is there anything being not attacked? So let's say we took these 3 and converted them. Support, yeah, your issue is you still have lacking some support equipment. But this here, once this gets equipped, you could actually push with this. To be fair, you might also want to put in some anti-air. So let's pretend you actually had it produced. As a small country, you could afford to build something like this, and this will give you a little bit more attack, right? 20 extra AA, not that we have it, but if you had built, let's say, 60 of it, which wouldn't take too long, 5 a week, so 10 weeks, this will triple. You could keep up with like 2 factories, 1 factory on it. And then after a while, you can push with these kind of units. Terrible stats right now, but once they fill up, getting out of the hole for anti-air. I'm going to wait till we get a little bit of org and some planning, but this is a mountain tile, hills. Your allies are cycling. So we're in a spot now where they're pretty weak. So I should be able to, yeah. So yeah, you can see here you're doing a little bit of damage. You're reducing the enemy air superiority, even though you have just a tiny bit of. Look, I'm actually pushing them out of the tile, halting. Okay, now we're looking almost there. Okay, so they are attacking that tile. Massive push here. Yeah, they just have a lot of units. Yeah, it's comparable. Ours is higher. But yeah, you could grind this out. And then if you make an encirclement, I'm trying to make the point here, like this stuff here should start to get lower supply once we take like this city. But you can see how like having better units to attack with actually helps a lot. So like in summary, getting good fighters would have been something that you could have done in Yugoslavia, and you could have gotten really ahead of time ones, even though you have low production. Getting a little bit anti-air if you don't build air is good. And then just having some offensive capabilities, like something that's slightly better stats, bang for your buck. When they're fighting, you've seen how these battles went. They went a lot better than trying to push with these fellas. And then looking to get supply areas, it's really rough terrain, this area here. It's all hills, right? You're fighting into hills until this city here. And you don't really want to attack on the mountains. That's why I didn't attack here. The idea would be to push into this state here and then hopefully get this. This is going to be a fair amount of supply for them. And then this area here is in a lot more of a danger for Italy. And you might be able to get an encirclement and then just slowly rinse and repeat doing that